Have you ever wanted to shoot the ball like Steph Curry? Maybe you just want to improve your shooting skills or simply impress your friends with your newfound talent. In honor of basketball season wrapping up, I'm going to teach you how to properly shoot a basketball. Shooting a basketball has been around for a long time, and there are many ways to make a ball go in a hoop, but there's only one way to properly shoot a basketball. I've been playing basketball for 6 years, and I've always prioritized form. I've even purchased the Steph Curry Masterclass video series on how to properly shoot a basketball. The main points of shooting a basketball properly are hand position, BEEF, which is an acronym, and of course, practice. Visual aids. Hand position is very crucial when shooting a basketball. Everyone sees people, I always see people at the rec shooting with some very odd hand positions. The way to do it properly is you can use the lines in the basketball. If you have the opportunity, don't shoot like this. Try to line up your hands properly. To do that, you can place your hands in the center of the ball like so. Don't place it like this. Don't place it off to the side. Don't warp your hand. Place the ball in the center of your hands. An important note to make is that when holding the ball, it'll only be on the pads of your fingers, which are the tips of your fingers. You do never want to have your palm touching the actual basketball, just the pads. And if I could grip a ball, I would show you that you just want to hold it like this. Can't do it. You should be able to insert a finger in between when you're holding the basketball. Now your guide hand is also important. You want to think of your guide hand exactly as what it's called, a guide hand. It is not a shooting hand. It does not propel the ball in any way. So what you do is you simply place it on the side. So when holding a basketball, you will hold your hand behind like this, straight up, and your hand just to the side. The hand does not propel the ball in any way. The only thing that does will be your shooting hand. The guide hand just stays to the side. The second part is BEEF. BEEF stands for balance, eyes, elbows, and follow through. With balance, you got to think of what just makes sense. You don't want to shoot a shot when you're leaning to a side or off balance or in the air fading to a side. That'll just make your shot go off. And although you might get lucky and shoot some shots in, that'll never be a way to consistently hit shots. So with balance, you think of standing feet shoulder width apart, your dominant foot about 6 inches in front of your non-dominant foot, so your shooting hands matching foot, about 6 inches in front, knees slightly bent with an athletic stance. Nothing's going to push you to the side, you're balanced. Then we think of eyes. Eyes mean where do you want to look when you're shooting the basketball? Well, a lot of people, when asked, where do you look when you shoot the basketball? Well, you look at the rim. You look at the square on the back of the backboard. Try to shoot in between that. You look at the back of the backboard. Try to hit that and hope that when you hit it, it bounces right back in for a flush shot. Some people say they just look at the rim and hope for the best. Now the proper technique is when looking at the rim, there is little hooks that hold the net on. And wherever you are on the basketball court, be it from the front or from the side, this happens to be from the side, you're gonna see those hooks. And typically, they hold the net. Typically you're gonna see 2 to 3 of the hooks. And the space of 3 hooks is the width of a basketball. The rim is the exact width of 2 basketballs placed together. So the margin for error, if you think about it, is there's a pretty high margin of error. You theoretically should be shooting most of your shots in, since a hoop is exactly twice the size of a basketball. that's another thing that helps. If you think about it like that, sorry, that was my timer that says I'm way over time, so I will speed through quickly now. So you want to look at the bottom of the rim, and when you're shooting, think, while looking at that, I want to lift the basketball over that spot, over that rim, of the front of the rim. And the front of the rim could also be from the side, depends on where you're standing. And then we have elbows. You can look at what I consider to be the greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry's elbows. His elbows are straight. You can also notice that his eyes are solely locked on the target. He doesn't care about the defense. He is looking at the target. And the elbows should be as straight as possible. The only way to get a straight elbow would be to do it like this. And that is not proper shooting form. You want to hold the ball in front of you, and your elbow will look like this. This is to outside, and that's almost impossible and unnatural. Follow through pertains to where you flick your wrist. When you shoot the basketball, you want to follow through, meaning when I shoot it, I'm pointing my fingers straight down. I'm not coming off to the side, I'm shooting and following through straight down. And that'll help my shot go straight. If you find your shot veering to either side, you might be following through to that side. And it's a little funky, but when you shoot your shot, hold it up, hold the follow through, and look at the target, the front of the rim, while you shoot the ball. Don't follow the ball in air. Just follow through is key in everything, especially shooting a basketball. And the third portion, besides hand position beef, is practice. And the only way to do that is get to the gym and fire up shots. Whenever you shoot, tell yourself, balance, eyes at the front of the rim, elbow straight, and follow through, pointing your fingers down while looking at the target. And if you just think of that and tell yourself this ball is going right over the front of the rim, I find that every time I really think about the form, I make every shot. The shots that I miss are the ones where I just think I have the form memorized and shoot. But it is a common theme. People who think about the form tend to hit more of their shots. Just like Steph Curry, who one time hit 93 out of 100 shots in practice. So, in conclusion, there are three main points to shooting a basketball: hand position, beef, and practice. Thank you.